story begins with a guy named Ji-yu who was an absolute master at cracking even the toughest locks and safes. His job was stealing priceless items and selling them off. He was so slick about it that he had pulled off over 100 heists without ever getting caught. One day, on a new mission, he snuck into a building to steal a jewel worth millions. The safe had several insanely complicated locks. Breaking into it was supposed to be nearly impossible, but for Ji-yu, it was a walk in the park. He popped the locks, grabbed the stone, slipped past all the guards, and made it out clean. But the moment he stepped outside, he accidentally dropped the priceless jewel and it shattered. All that hard work had gone to waste in seconds. Still, Ji-yu wasn't the type to give up. He studied the original design carefully and made an exact replica of the stone. He took the fake jewel to a well-known shop to sell it. The shopkeeper took one look and immediately knew it was counterfeit. He flat out refused to do any business with Ji-yu. But Ji-yu knew a secret. This same shopkeeper regularly sold fake stuff himself, so he threatened to expose him to the police. Left with no choice, the shopkeeper reluctantly brought the fake jewel. Ji-yu's best friend and partner was Going. His specialty was rigging everyday objects with explosives. After that job, Ji-yu decided it was time to start printing counterfeit money. He made perfect-looking bills, but the moment he spilled alcohol on them, the ink washed right off. When that plan flopped, the two of them decided to rob a diamond shop that held around $3 million worth of goods. It wasn't going to be easy. The store was covered in CCTV cameras. To hack the cameras, they needed a top-tier hacker, so they brought in Jang Bae. There were rumors that Jang Bae had once snitched on his own crew for money, but Ji-yu and Goen decided to trust him anyway and brought him on board. Around this time, Ji-yu became friends with a girl named Yuna, who was an expert on valuable jewelry. The two of them went out together and Ji-yu noticed a beautiful necklace around her neck, a gift from her father. Later, they took the necklace to a jewelry store to get it appraised. They learned that the diamond alone was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. While they were there, Ji-yu secretly slid a bag under a sofa without anyone noticing and then casually left. They went to another shop for a second opinion and got the same high valuation. That second shop was the exact place Ji-yu was now planning to rob. He memorized the layout, where every CCTV camera was, how many rooms there were, and exactly how many guards were on duty. In the end, he calculated they'd have to complete the entire heist in under 10 minutes. On the day of the robbery, the bag Ji-yu had planted earlier exploded, distracting all the guards. At the same moment, Jang Bae used his genius skills to hack every CCTV camera so Ji-yu and Goen could slip inside unnoticed. He also disabled the alarm system so no one would know when they touched the safe. But the guards returned sooner than expected. Goen smashed their car window to keep them occupied, while Ji-yu cleaned out the safe and escaped with all the diamonds. Later, the three of them celebrated hard. The next day, the owner of the diamonds, a man named Cho, found out about the theft and was furious. At the same time, though, he was seriously impressed. Breaking through such tight security was no small feat. Cho was actually a multi-millionaire businessman and a gangster who had killed who knows how many people. He had already planning a massive heist of his own and needed skilled thieves. He had tested several kidnappers and safecrackers, but none of them were good enough. Now he realized that the crew who had just pulled off this diamond job was exactly what he was looking for. So he put all his men on the hunt to find Ji-yu and his team. Within a few days, his guys had eyes on every diamond shop in the area and quickly tracked down Ji-yu's location. Cho met with the three of them and offered to bring them in on his big job, promising each of them a 5% cut of the take. Anyway, they didn't really have much of a choice. If they refused, Cho would have their entire families killed. In the end, Ji-yu agreed. Cho told them that roughly $150 million in black money was arriving in Korea by ship. The dock where the ship would unload had the strongest security system in the world. Cho gave them food coupons and wanted the three of them to use those coupons to pull off the heist. After that, Ji-yu started working on the plan. This was going to be the biggest job of his life. Meanwhile, Cho secretly called Jang Bae aside and promised him extra money to keep an eye on Ji-yu and Goen. After all, how can you really trust thieves? On the other side, the police were still hunting for the diamond thieves. They reviewed the CCTV footage and saw that Ji-yu was the one who had planted the bag in the store. They tracked his location, raided his house, and found the entire plan for the upcoming heist. That's when the police realized Ji-yu was working with Cho. The day before the robbery, Ji-yu and Goen went to the port and planted explosive along with devices to hack the security system. Back at their hideout, Ji-yu told Goen they should betray Cho and keep all the money for themselves. But Jang Bae overheard their plan and immediately informed Cho. Cho was furious, but he decided to deal with Ji-yu later. He still needed him for the job. After that, Ji-yu went to meet Yuna, but she was really upset that he had suddenly disappeared. When she wouldn't listen, Ji-yu finally told her the truth. Her father, Mr. O, was his mentor. Mr. O was the one who had brought Ji-yu into the world of crime. At one point, Mr. O wanted to quit stealing and live a normal life, but that same day, his business partner Cho had him killed. Yuna didn't believe a word of it and stormed off. A short while later, Cho's men kidnapped her so Ji-yu wouldn't dare betray him. Finally, the day of the heist arrived. All the thieves managed to sneak into the port. Cho set off the explosives, which distracted all the security guards. Taking advantage of the chaos, Jang Bei hacked the security system. The staff thought they could fix the problem in about 40 minutes, giving Ji-yu and Goen plenty of time. They reached the vault. Ji-yu used his skills to open the locks with ease. Now they were staring at a mountain of cash. Without wasting a second, they started loading the money into their truck and replaced it with the food coupons Cho had given them. As soon as news of the explosion reached them, the police rushed to the port and surrounded the entire area. Ji-yu and his crew were trapped inside and couldn't get out. Then Cho showed up, pointed a gun at Ji-yu, and revealed that he knew about the betrayal. He showed Yuna's necklace and said she was in his custody. To save her life, Ji-yu surrendered himself to the police, but right before they could arrest him, he jumped into the water. The police opened fire, and one bullet hit him. The bomb he was holding exploded. It looked like Ji-yu was dead for sure. When Go-in found out, he was devastated over losing his best friend. But Jang Bei was happy. Now he'd get Ji-yu's share of the money too. The two of them started arguing, and Jang Bei ended up stabbing Go-in to death. The truck full of money finally reached Cho's place, but when they opened it and saw it was only filled with food coupons, everyone's jaws dropped. Cho was completely confused until his phone rang. It was Ji-yu calling, and he sounded perfectly fine. That's when all the cards started falling into place. Everything that had happened from the very beginning was actually part of Ji-yu's master plan. Ji-yu wanted revenge on Cho for killing Mr. O. First, he had planted a microphone inside the fake jewel he sold. He knew Cho often shopped there. Just as planned, Cho bought the fake stone, and by listening to his conversations, Ji-yu learned that Cho was looking for a skilled thief. So, Ji-yu deliberately stole the diamonds to get Cho's attention. All this time, Cho thought he was the one hunting Ji-yu, but Ji-yu had been deliberately leaving clues for him to find. Even Jang Bei was actually on Ji-yu's side the whole time. He was just pretending to work for Cho. The police who came to arrest Ji-yu were also fake, and the bullet that hit him was a blank. Basically, he played Cho for a complete fool and got away clean. Meanwhile, the police rescued Go-in, who had only been pretending to be dead. Cho ended up with nothing but a big pile of worthless food coupons. On top of that, Ji-yu had already tipped off the real police about him. The cops raided Cho's hideout, and a huge shootout broke out between Cho's men and the police. In the middle of all the chaos, Jang Bei freed Yuna from captivity. When Cho saw his entire plan falling apart, he tried to run. Ji-yu's guys also took back the truck full of food coupons. Even though the coupons didn't seem to have any real value, it turned out they were actually the stolen money in disguise. While they were loading the cash into the truck, they had used Ji-yu's counterfeit money machine to print the bills in the exact design of the food coupons. All they had to do was spill alcohol on them later, and the coupons would turn back into real cash. That meant the entire time, the money was right in front of Cho's eyes, but he never realized it. In the end, Cho rammed Cho's car and handed him straight over to the police. Back at their hideout, they sprinkled alcohol on the coupons and watched them transform back into stacks of real money. After pulling off such a massive heist, Ji-yu decided to lay low for a few months and go underground. One day, he sent Yuna a bag full of cash so she could finally open her dream art gallery in Dubai. She moved to Dubai, and while visiting a museum, she was showing off her necklace when Ji-yu suddenly appeared. The two of them reunited and started living happily together. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.